Now, when we would usually go into a frank foreclosure topic, we're going to roll right in.
I'll be frank on this one. Big banks rule.
Big banks rule. Big banks are the best. We love big banks.
big banks.
Actually, we're just going to go ahead and bring up another mortgage topic, mortgage finance topic,
and
that way
all the time.
because you guys are here to
it's
talk
mortgage
about
radio.
It is.
My other
Ladies and gentlemen, mortgage radio coming at you from KBeach Global Radio, CalSTRS. How do I refinance?
Dude, that's my next week's topic.
No, it doesn't matter. It's your now topic, so I hope you're ready. How do I refinance a CalSTRS loan? CalSTRS is the loan
Another
for...
piece of cake. No,
I know. No, CalSTRS is the loan typically for teachers or some type of school administrators or school employees.
Actually,
you're part of the CalSTRS
anyone in
program.
Is it anyone in the union?
It's anyone in the CalSTRS that was participating in the CalSTRS retirement.
Is it just teachers or
no,
administrators?
They don't,
can janitors and
they don't even have to participate. I don't believe they just need
part of it.
They just need a paycheck stub from a public school or school district. They don't even have to contribute to.
So the lunch lady can do it. The lady with the hairnet.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Oh yeah, part-time librarian.
Really?
But not anymore.
There's no
that
more,
was then.
There's no more librarians.
No, that was
no
then.
such thing.
Library.
But there's
that
still
came out
lunch
October.
ladies.
Yeah,
There's
but
still lunch ladies?
they discontinued the program.
October. I believe it was October last year.
Right.
That's when B of A got out.
But we believe that it's coming back in some shape. It can't be just gone forever. No one's going to leave the teachers out there.
Here's what we're specifically talking about, and Alissa can tear this up.
Tear it up.
Because she's the master.
She's a master at tearing things up.
The program that was the program that was something that we as a company were really, really involved in is called an 80-17. So what it was is you could have 3% down payment with no mortgage insurance because you'd have an 80% first mortgage and a 17% second mortgage, but you didn't have to make payments on the second mortgage for 5 full years. And then
so it was like invisible for 5 years?
It wasn't silent. It was just sleeping.
Oh, but it was collecting interest.
It was just sleeping. Well, it already had interest.
It was hibernating.
It already had interest. It already had interest calculated into it. So it was simple interest, and then it's paid off. It's amortized over the remaining 25 years. Now, the challenge with this is to refinance because it doesn't have mortgage insurance. And because you weren't paying on the second, in order to refinance that loan, your payments are going to shoot way up because you have to start paying the second mortgage. Because if you refinance it, you're paying the first and the second.
So the 17 comes back as soon as you got to refinance.
Well, it doesn't come back. You're paying off both loans and combining them into a single loan.
Okay.
And the only loan that'll go to that high of a loan to value is FHA. So now you're converting it into an FHA, so you're adding mortgage insurance, which adds another few $100s to your payment.
So refinancing a CalSTRS loan was always difficult.
It's very, very difficult, and conventional is difficult only because there hasn't been enough equity. I mean, remember, you're already at 97%, so if the property value is exactly the same as where it was, then you might be able to do it. It would be really close. There's options, but it's tricky.
So am I to assume by the fact that you're bringing this up as a topic that there's something new or different or that you found on the market that can help someone?
We just want
We're still
to make
looking.
sure. Yeah, we just want to make sure. There's basically 3 options that you can look at to somehow take advantage of this lower if you wanted to.
Number 1.
Okay. Number 1, you can, Scotty kind of touched on this, combine the first and the second into one big fatty loan. Now, as
your payments
payments will go up.
Maybe, right? Because
it will go
What
up.
if it's a lower interest rate now? Do they get it?
Because now you're
really going to have to
you're paying on a 97% loan instead of an 80% loan.
But at some point, like if it's been a loan that's been mature for 5 years or 6 years or 7 years, it's going to start to equal itself out, right? Because you've paid down and the interest rate may have been higher, blah, blah, blah.
And you're going to want to...
So in some cases, an older loan...
start kind of possibly running the numbers.
This actually might be a very positive thing for someone. If they have a mature CalSTRS loan and they've never been able to touch that, they've never been paying on that 17, now might be a great time if the interest rate drops enough and they've got enough paid down to combine it into one, and now they can actually start paying off on that 17.
Because they're going to have to start, once that 5 year hits, they're making payments on it anyway.
Yeah, and this really requires, But yeah, I mean, educators are probably the right type of person for this because it really requires some. It requires some financial planning is what it requires because what may appear to not be beneficial to some is really over the long run, over the long term. Right. It could save you, tens of thousands of dollars over time. It's really going to come down to your numbers. Yeah. So, and your specific situation. And I hear a lot of times, well, my friend did this, this, and this. Yeah. And I hate that answer but your friend is different from you. And you don't know what your friend's situation was. Right. And we got to talk about you. So there's that option.
I think that's something everybody does on every loan. Yes. Is they say, my friend or my mom or my brother got this and that.
Or I heard on the radio.
Or, yeah, I heard on the radio.
I heard from a friend.
But every single person and every single loan has differences in it.
Absolutely. Right. Snowflakes, baby.
Right. Snowflakes.
That's right.
Oh, that's a great way to say it. Snowflakes. I'm going to use that.
Right. Snowflakes. Everyone's different.
You've never used that before?
Because
I just tell them, I go, you're different. I go, everybody's
It's
different.
yours. I can give that to you.
Nice.
My gift to you.
All right, number two.
Number two. You can either pay off or pay down that second loan. Okay. Now, obviously, pay off kind of can scare some people. 17%. I know. Ow. So if you don't have, enough assets to go ahead and pay that off, you can try to pay that down. Yeah. And like Scotty, said with FHA, you can go up to 97.75% loan to value.
And conventional, you get it down to 95%, and your mortgage insurance is super low.
Super low.
And you're like,
technically,
sweetness.
You can go to 97. But like you said,
MI is going to be higher. But 97 and 95, the difference in your mortgage insurance payment is big, like
big
half.
Difference. So,
yeah, from 1.2 to 0.55. I think. Yeah.
Number three.
I think it's 0.58 or something like that. Yeah. Anyways, or number three, you can go to B of A.
Oh my God, that's not.
Where's Frank? Frank, if you're listening.
Because here's the thing. They are servicing your first and your second. Every CalSTRS.
All right, let me throw this one in here though. Now because.
You said B of A because B of A did all the CalSTRS up until they dumped them.
Well, if you have a CalSTRS loan, you're
up until they dumped all the teachers and left them on the street to bleed. Right?
No. That's B of A on the phone. They're calling. They're mad. No. Okay. So here's the thing. This is I still consider this urban legend because even though I still don't know anybody.
People that have done it.
I've heard that it's possible.
Heard of unicorns too.
Yeah, I've heard of unicorns too. I mean, this is like, I don't know. I mean, it's like release the Krakens. I don't know that I've never actually. So supposedly, Bank of America has the ability to just refinance the first and not touch the second.
Not touch it or resubordinate it?
Well, subordinate it. Yeah. So it's not touching it. So it's
That's
leaving
way
it in.
Too big of a word for our listeners.
Sorry.
It's leaving it in place. And it's just subordinating it. If you resubordinate it, I don't know what that happens. That's like a double negative.
Does anybody know what subordinate is?
Subordinate means that you refinance the first around the second. That you don't touch the second.
Think of them as in line. The first is first in line to get their money. The second is second in line.
Yeah.
And when you refinance, you got to make sure that second doesn't jump ahead, and you have to put them in their place. It's putting them in their place.
It's the
okay, that really didn't clear it up at all.
Because you didn't see my hands.
It's good radio. It's good radio.
It's the dates at which the financing took place. So the date that the first financing took place, and then there's the date that the second financing took place. If you refinance the first, the date's going to be after the second, which means. Which means that the one on top always gets paid first,
and that's a big problem.
Okay, forget I asked.
Yeah, it's kind of
anybody who wants to know what it means, Google it. Okay.
So supposedly, and I still say supposedly because I'm yet to hear a report back because we tell our clients this all the time. Go to a Bank of America branch. They're the only ones that can do this. There's not a single employee in a Bank of America branch that I've gotten feedback from that has any idea what they're talking about.
And that's in general, not just specifically to CalSTRS loans.
We're talking about CalSTRS right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, I'm not saying anything.
All right, I can do it. I love bashing the big banks. That's my favorite.
You know what?
They're just people, Eric. They need a job. They're just working there because
And politicians are just people too.
I know. I can name 2 really good LOs that work at B of A.
So can I, but they're just out on an island by themselves. All right, so break it down. Did you already break it down?
Number 1,
Yeah.
Combine your first and second into
Okay.
one big fat loan.
Got it.
Number 2, either pay off or pay down that second 17%. Or number 3, go to B of A.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.